The Lotus Sutra, Chapter 20, Never-disparaging Bodhisattva. At that time, the Buddha spoke to the Bodhisattva Great Strength, the Great One. You should know now that when monks, nuns, laymen, or laywomen embrace the Dharma Flower Sutra, if anyone curses, abuses, or slanders them, that person will receive great punishment, as taught earlier. But those who attain blessings, as taught before, will have their eyes, ears, noses, tongues, bodies, and thoughts purified. Great strength. Long ago, innumerable, unlimited, inconceivable, and countless eons ago, there was a Buddha named Majestic Voice King Tathagata, one worthy of offerings, truly awakened, fully clear in conduct, well gone, understanding the world, unexcelled leader, trainer of men, teacher of heavenly beings and people, Buddha, world-honored one. His eon was named Free from Decline, and his land Great Achievement. In that world, Majestic Voice King Buddha taught the Dharma for the sake of human and heavenly beings and asuras. For those seeking to be Shravakas, he taught the Dharma according to the Four Truths, to free them from birth, old age, disease, and death, leading them finally to nirvana. For those seeking to be Pratyeka Buddhas, he taught the Dharma according to the 12 causes and conditions. For Bodhisattvas, to lead them to supreme awakening, he taught the Dharma according to the 6 transcendental practices, enabling them to gain Buddha wisdom. Great strength. The lifetime of Majestic Voice King Buddha lasted for eons equal in number to the sands of 40 trillion myriads of Ganges. The number of eons during which his true Dharma remained in the world was equal to the specks of dust in Jambudvipa, and the number of eons during which his merely formal Dharma remained was equal to the specks of dust in 4 continents. After this Buddha had abundantly benefited living beings, he passed into extinction. After the true Dharma and merely formal Dharma had entirely disappeared, another Buddha appeared in that land. He was also named Majestic Voice King Tathagata, and was worthy of offerings, truly awakened, fully clear in conduct, well gone, understanding the world, unexcelled leader, trainer of men, teacher of heavenly beings and people, Buddha, world-honored one. In this way, there were 2 trillion Buddhas in succession, all with the same name. After the extinction of the first Majestic Voice King Tathagata, and after the end of the true Dharma, during the period of the merely formal Dharma, extremely arrogant monks had great power. At that time, there was a Bodhisattva monk named Never-disparaging. Great strength. Why do you think he was named Never-disparaging? That monk bowed in obeisance before everyone he met, whether monk, nun, layman, or laywoman, and praised them, saying, I deeply respect you. I would never dare to be disrespectful or arrogant toward you. Why? Because all of you are practicing the Bodhisattva way, and surely will become Buddhas. This monk did not devote himself to reading and reciting sutras, but simply went around bowing to people. If he saw the 4 groups off in the distance, he would make a point of going up to them, bowing in obeisance, and praising them, saying, I would never dare to disrespect you, because surely you are all to become Buddhas. Among the 4 groups were those who became angry, enraged, and mean-spirited, and reviled and cursed him, saying, This ignorant monk, who takes it on himself to announce that he does not disrespect us, and assures us of becoming Buddhas, where did he come from? We have no use for such empty, false assurances. Thus he passed many years, constantly being cursed, but never becoming angry or enraged, and always saying, "Surely you are to become Buddhas." When he spoke this way, some would hit him with sticks, tiles, or stones. But even if he ran off and stood at a distance, he would continue to cry out loudly, "I would not dare to disrespect you. Surely all of you are to become Buddhas." And because he always spoke in this way, the extremely arrogant monks, nuns, laymen, and laywomen called him never disrespectful. When this monk was nearing death, from the sky he heard 200 million billion verses of the Dharma Flower Sutra, which majestic voice King Buddha had previously taught, and he was able to receive and embrace them all. Immediately he obtained the purity of vision and of the faculties of the ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind described earlier. Having obtained the purity of these 6 faculties, his life was extended for 2 million billion myriads of years, and he taught this Dharma Flower Sutra everywhere for the people. Then the extremely arrogant monks, nuns, laymen, and laywomen, who had slighted and shown contempt for this man, and given him the name Never Disrespectful, seeing him with the power of great divine faculties, powers of joyful and eloquent speech, and powers of great goodness and tranquility, and having heard him preach, all believed in him and followed him. This Bodhisattva transformed a multitude of tens of millions of billions, enabling them to dwell in a state of supreme awakening. After his lifetime, he met 200 billion Buddhas, all of whom were named Sun and Moonlight, and under their Dharma he taught this Dharma Flower Sutra. Through the causes and conditions created by this, he also met 200 billion Buddhas, all with the same name, King of Light and Master of Clouds. Under the Dharma of those Buddhas, he received, embraced, read, recited, and taught this sutra for all 4 groups. Thus his ordinary vision became pure, as did the faculties of his ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. Among the 4 groups, he taught the Dharma fearlessly. Great strength. In this way, Never Disrespectful Bodhisattva, the Great One, made offerings to numerous Buddhas, revering, honoring, and praising them. After planting such roots of goodness, he met tens of millions of billions of Buddhas once again, and under the Dharma of those Buddhas taught this sutra, gaining blessings that enabled him to become a Buddha. Great strength, what do you think? Can Never Disrespectful Bodhisattva, who lived at that time, be unknown to you? He was really me. If I had not received and embraced, read and recited this sutra, and taught it to others in previous lives, I would not have been able to attain supreme awakening so quickly. Because I received and embraced, read and recited this sutra, and taught it for others under previous Buddhas, I attained supreme awakening quickly. Great strength. At that time the 4 groups, monks, nuns, laymen, and laywomen, angrily treated me with contempt and scorn. Thus, for 20 billion eons, they never met a Buddha, never heard the Dharma, never saw a monastic community, and for 1,000 eons, they experienced great suffering in the deepest purgatory. After they had finished paying for their sin, once again they met and were taught and transformed by the supreme awakening of Never Disrespectful Bodhisattva. Great strength, what do you think? Can those 4 groups of that time, who always slighted that Bodhisattva, be unknown to you? They are now in this assembly. Bhadrapala and his group of 500 Bodhisattvas, Lion Moon and her group of 500 nuns, Thinking of Buddha and his group of 500 laymen, all of whom will never regress in their pursuit of supreme awakening. You should know, great strength, that this Dharma Flower Sutra abundantly benefits the Bodhisattvas, the great ones, and enables them to reach supreme awakening. This is why the Bodhisattvas, the great ones, after the extinction of the Tathagata, should always embrace, read and recite, and explain and copy this sutra. Then the world-honored one, wanting to restate this teaching, spoke in verse. In the past, there was a Buddha called Majestic Voice King, immeasurable in divine wisdom, commander and leader of all. Gods and people and dragon gods joined in making offerings to him. After this Buddha's extinction, when his Dharma was near its end, there was a Bodhisattva whose name was Never-disparaging. At that time, the 4 groups were attached to the Dharma superficially. Never-disparaging Bodhisattva would go to them and say, "I would never disrespect you, for you are following the way, and surely will all become Buddhas." When people heard this, they made light of him or cursed him. Never-disparaging Bodhisattva withstood it all patiently. When he had been cleansed of his sins and his life was coming to an end, he heard this sutra, and his 6 faculties were purified. Because of his divine powers, his life was prolonged, and for the sake of all the people, he taught this sutra everywhere. All those who adhered to the Dharma were taught, transformed, and developed by this Bodhisattva, and led to dwell in the Buddha way. At the end of his life, Never-disparaging met countless Buddhas, and through teaching this sutra, gained immeasurable happiness. Gradually developing his blessings, he quickly attained the Buddha way. The Never-disparaging of that time was really me. The 4 groups of that time, who were attached to the Dharma, and heard Never-disparaging say, "You are to become Buddhas," and for this reason met countless Buddhas, are now here in this assembly. They are the group of 500 Bodhisattvas, and the 4 groups, men and women of pure faith, who are now before me listening to the Dharma. In my previous lives, I encouraged these people to hear and receive this sutra, the unsurpassed Dharma. I revealed and taught it to people, enabling them to dwell in nirvana. Through age after age, they have received and embraced sutras. During billions and billions of eons of inconceivable time, rare are the times that one can hear this Dharma Flower Sutra. During billions and billions of eons of inconceivable time, Buddha's world-honored ones rarely taught this sutra. Therefore, its followers, after the Buddha's extinction, on hearing such a sutra as this, should have no doubt or perplexity. They should wholeheartedly teach this sutra everywhere. Meeting Buddhas in age after age, they will quickly achieve the Buddha way.